somebody who is getting mixed signals. One second, it's extremely, you know, communicative, and this person can't get enough of you. We have this magnetic pull, and someone who seems to be wanting every minute or every second they can get. And then there is a pause or an interlude. And sorry, I have to take a screenshot because it's still doing the repeating message thing. Um, and unfortunately, this means that they might be actually sending the wrong signals, or they might be confusing you, or you might be confusing someone else, because there is some sort of family obligation or professional obligation, or maybe even an emotional hesitation regarding moving forward in that relationship. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. And I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedonestarot@gmail.com. You can find that in the description box along with more information on how to become a member. Thank you to the current members. We do have a members only live stream in 43 minutes. Yeah. So I do have to make sure to end this live stream at like 5 till basically. And then if you'd like to get a homemade soy candle made by yours truly, there's also a link to my Etsy page in the description box for you as well. All right, what shall we start with? I'm feeling pulled to the OG, the Rider-Waite, or the Waite Smith. What else do we have, please? Good morning, Taylor. How are you doing? I hope you're having a good day. So we have the Page of Cups, the King of Cups, Page of Wands, and the Chariot in the reverse. That sounds about right. So we have someone who is, with this Page of Cups, it's like, oh, I really want this. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's still doing those messages. Sorry, I don't know how to... It usually stops after a few messages. Sorry about that. And I don't know if it'll let me add to the chat. But if anyone else is able to just pop in a hello into the live chat, I think the repeating messages will stop. Or at least I hope. Sorry guys, we've had some technical issues on the channel since Friday. So feel free to send some positive energy to the channel. Hopefully we can resolve this soon. Hello Lemonade, how are you doing? Hello Army Vet Guy, how are you doing? So we've got someone who has got this flirty, emotionally invested or interested energy. Does not have to be a man, but this is somebody who's emotionally mature. So I don't feel like this is someone who's playing games. But then the communication that was pretty amazing, right? Or direct with that Chariot in the reverse, it stops. This timing factor is the issue. So yes, there's emotions. Yes, there's desire, but there's also some other responsibility with this Six of Pentacles. It could be they are looking out for somebody else, but it may be conveyed to you as not great intentions. You might be thinking they're talking to someone else. I think you're going to get clarity on what has actually distracted this person, and I feel like it is absolutely family or finances related. It could be both, right? Trying to help a sibling or a parent figure out their living situation, or, you know, I've got some problem with a medical bill, got to figure that out, but they have their focus elsewhere, and it is confusing the person that they've been talking to romantically. Thank you, Army Vet Guy. Good. So, Lemonade, from your side, do you see? I see like 15 of the welcome to the live chat message that starts off the live chat. Do you guys not see that? Just curious. Hello, Catherine. How are you doing? Hello, Stephen. I hope you're having a good day. So we have the Three of Wands, the Two of Cups in the reverse, and the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah, so we have someone who feels like they've been left on red, or that they have not, they haven't been getting the attention that they previously did. So they feel like they need to pull back and they need to expect a breakup. So you could be the King of Cups who has been distracted and isn't as communicative, or you could be the person who's dealing with the King of Cups wondering, why aren't you communicating as much? Okay, that's really good to know. Thank you, Lemonade. Yeah, I don't even know if I should dare to dream that at some point my notifications actually work the way that they're supposed to. But thank you. I appreciate that. What else do we have? Death in the reverse, Seven of Wands in the reverse, and the Ace of Swords in the reverse. So this connection is not over. There is still desire. There is still a, little daydream here that this would turn into a long-term relationship. But that Seven of Wands being in the reverse definitely hints to, I've got a situation that I need to deal with, right? The basement is flooding, or my car got stolen. I wish none of that upon any of you, but we have someone who is going through some frustrations and difficulties that probably impact their finances in some way. And maybe they're a little bit nervous to talk to you about it, or maybe they literally can't talk to you about it. Let's see. This is the Jack-o'-lantern tarot. What else do we have? We have the Empress, the King of Cups in the reverse, and the Tower. Yeah, this is like love me not. What were those? I think the flowers are actually called love me nots. The little blue flowers. This is someone who's feeling like yesterday you were into me, or like a week ago we were definitely like vibing, and now it's you're nowhere to be found. So I guess I'm just gonna assume that I did something to upset you, that this is over because I made a joke and you didn't like it. Or I said something that you disagree with, you just didn't want to talk to me about it. So this assumption is wrong. Thinking that you said something to upset this person, look, it's always good to be self-aware. It's always good to self-monitor and wonder, was I a little bit, blunt with that? Was I a little bit heartless by saying that? This is not your problem. This is not something that you did. They have something going on in their life. Hello, Jamaica. How are you doing today? Two of Wands and the Nine of Swords. Yeah, they're dealing with some anxiety, some frustrating event, but talking to you about it might seem a little bit easier once they have a grasp on the situation. Let's see, if I lost my bank cards, my wallet, I don't really have a wallet. I don't even use a purse. If I lost my monies and I was stressed out by trying to deal with that, I would probably not be as communicative with people. If someone gets evicted, or they have, some issues to deal with because their family has a big argument, or someone gets kicked out or gets divorced, these could be things that they don't feel like they're able to share because it's not their business. But it could also just be like, I kind of want to know that there's some sort of resolution and things are getting easier before I tell you what's going on. Temperance, the Lovers in the reverse, and the Three of Cups. So while you might be a little bit confused, there is after you feel like you've not been chosen, there is confirmation that this individual really does want to see you again. The Three of Cups is a date, or for some of you, like reconnecting, right? If you're not able to see each other due to distance, then this is a really nice phone call or FaceTime. But we have some like, okay, I guess I was worried for nothing. Some sense of, okay, I assumed that it was me, that I was the problem, but it looks like there was just something else going on. Hello, Hannah. How you doing? Hello, Tyrone. Hello, Imported. How you doing? That's totally fine. I think this is more than likely not a committed relationship. This energy is coming through more so as maybe you were headed towards a commitment or felt like things were going really well, but I think it would have been like a couple weeks, or I don't even think it could be a couple months. So this is like a newer level connection that gets interrupted. So we have the Hanged Man and the Four of Cups with the Queen of Swords. You're going to hear the truth from this person. They don't have to be a woman, but they're coming through as the Queen of Swords, and they also came through as the King of Cups. That's why we don't talk too much about gender in the cards. But we've got someone who left you on red, or who left things kind of unattended. You're thinking that it's a rejection with the Four of Cups, but they're about to tell you what actually happened. They're about to tell you, I'm so sorry. I know that I should have been more communicative, but here's what was going on. Maybe I lost my phone. Maybe, there was identity fraud on, multiple accounts of mine. But we have this like insight into what actually caused the problem between the two of you, and the sun being, of course, information coming to light, or you finally realizing what has been going on. This is the Green Witch Oracle. Hello, Kira. How are you doing? Hello, David. I hope you're having a good day. Hello, Renee. Yes, I agree with that. What else do we have? Fog, obscurity, and feeling lost. Yeah, because you have reason to believe that things were going well. For some of you, this hasn't happened yet. This could be some insight into what's going to happen in the month of June. But this person that you have a good rapport with, and you had felt like probably was going to move forward and possibly get into a committed relationship, there's this little obstacle or, bump in the road, but they're going to tell you what happened and clear up any confusion. Lavender, tranquility, kindness, and self-care. The reason for their departure or their lack of communication is they were taking care of someone, or they were resolving a problem in their own life. So this is not like I'm out here dating someone else, or, just needed to finalize my divorce. Sorry to keep you waiting. No, they're actually doing something that needed to be done for themselves. I think for more than half of you, though, this is something that they were doing for a family member, or, a very close friend. We have time, Thyme, by the way, presence, and self-awareness. They're going to demonstrate that they do care about you deeply by, after they explain what has happened, showing that they prioritize time with you after that has been resolved. Watering can, asking for help and sharing burdens. So they're going to share with you what that burden was, even though at the time they were going through it, it was kind of uncomfortable for them to think about doing that. Maybe they don't want to stress you out, or didn't want to. Maybe they needed to make sure that it wasn't going to be offensive to their family member if they talked about what was going on. Hello, TRN. How are you doing? This is the Golden Art Nouveau. What else do we have? And thank you for liking and subscribing. That means a lot to me. Aha, there's the Hermit. Knight of Wands in the reverse and the Sun. So they come back, they open the line of communication, and they, I think, apologize and let you know what this event was that made them feel like they had to move very quickly. They're going to bring you in on what was going on. Hello, Stephen. How are you doing today? Seven of Cups, the Four of Wands. Yeah, this impacted somebody's domestic life. I do feel like they were helping someone else, or they were dealing with complications with, sorry, I had to end up like cutting off the relationship that I had with my brother because of an argument or because of how they treated some, whatever it is. It wasn't something they could just tell you about like in the midst of it without it being perhaps quite dramatic. And I do think that they're just a little bit concerned that once they tell you what happened, you might be like, sounds like a mess that I don't want to deal with. So telling you what happened after it's been mostly resolved makes them feel like it's less likely that you would walk away and that you could actually, reconnect, go back out on a date. Page of Pentacles and the Hierophant in the reverse. But you were concerned that this was somebody who might be afraid of commitment. I don't see that being true. I think this is someone who has some strong morals and principles. They do want to be in a long-term relationship, but this obligation or this event that was rather unpredictable got in the way. Hey, Sykes, I'm going to put you in a little timeout because I really don't support the fire and brimstone stuff. If you want to participate in the live chat without judging other people's beliefs, you are welcome to do so once that timeout goes away. Hello, Neon. Hello, Carrie. How you doing today? We have the Six of Cups and the Magician. It's really coming through like this was they had to help a sibling. It could even be they have, a child that got into issues. It could be that they were trying to help a parent who had a medical event. But this is someone they've known for a very long time. I don't see it as a romantic rival to you. And the Magician indicates they were able to figure out what to do. They've made progress in the situation and feel like things are calming down. But with the Four of Swords in the reverse, they now are looking at the connection with you and feeling like they have to repair that connection because they, of course, didn't really tell you everything that was going on. They are a little bit worried that even when they tell you what was going on, that you might still be kind of hesitant to reconnect with them. I hope you are as well. Hello, Severi. How are you doing? So we have the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse and the Five of Swords. Yeah. There was an outside party that caused an issue here. Someone that either was in trouble or needed tending to. And that's what this King of Cups, Queen of Swords was doing. Oops, wrong way. Let's get a few from the signs of the times. What else? Smiley face, joy, and crystals, achievement. So I've been able to overcome whatever this storm was or whatever this problem was. And now I feel like I can actually get back to, enjoying time with you or getting to know you better. What is that song? Getting to know you, getting to know all about you. Does that sound of music? But that's what's going through my head right now. I don't know if anyone can confirm that. We have Firefly, Wonder. This person is still very interested in you. And again, a little bit fearful that they might not be able to pick up where they left off with you because of this distraction or this thing that made them not be able to give attention to you the way that they wanted to. This is the Golden Lenormand. Hello, August. How are you doing? Hello, David. How's your day? So very, you cannot kill or create energy. You can transmute it or change it. So the energies that make us live have been around for a very long time. But you're asking some very deep philosophical questions that take me away from the reading that I'm doing. I appreciate that, but there might be some folks in the live chat that can respond with their opinions. So we have the Ship, which is number 3. I think they're going to go out of their way to try to demonstrate to you that this was not a ding on your connection. They were not distracted by some other romantic pursuit. I think they're going to have some sort of proof to show you that they were like stuck somewhere. Maybe they didn't have phone access. Maybe they lost their phone. Maybe they were in a hospital, because I don't think you're supposed to use your phones, right? But this is something that they feel they really need to make sure you understand. I still want to pursue you. I thought about you the entire time, but I did have to deal with that situation. So let's see. Let's see what we get. We'll go with the Cat's Eye Tarot. What else do we have? Moon in the reverse. 4 of Swords in the reverse. 5 of Pentacles in the okay. So this reading's coming through because for some of you, your inclination is to feel like this person is lying. Like, I don't know. I think it's kind of rude that you didn't give me a heads up and you went, like, basically you ghosted me when I thought we were having a nice little chat. So I do think there's a risk that for some of you, you're like, nah, I don't really see any reason to fix things with you because I feel like in this day and age, you should have been able to communicate. For others of you, it's maybe indicative that there was some unhealed energy of yours from a previous relationship that might assume that somebody is the cheating type or non-committal. But this is someone who is telling you the truth, and you are assuming that they are lying, or you may assume that they are lying. Sorry, I'm gonna light another candle. Oh, I don't know if that's the one I want to light though. All right, that should be enough, right? All right. I'm gonna put you down here. I mean, over here. Yes, that helps. Okay. So basically, a little heads up that you might assume that somebody is not being honest with you, but the reality is they maybe just kind of didn't handle the situation very well. For some of you, they had to deal with someone passing. With that death card, I do feel like this is more so about someone's health. I had to help out a friend, or I needed to, take someone to the hospital. And with the 2 of Swords, I do feel like they had to choose between prioritizing your conversation and helping someone. What else do we have? Six of Wands. 8 of Swords. I do think that they can successfully prove to you like what the actual block was. that even though you may have been frustrated by this delay in conversation, they're going to make it clear to you that this was not meant to be, I'm playing mind games with you, or there's someone else that I'm interested in. No, this is someone who's actually going through some difficult times. Especially if this person is sending you a text with a minimal information and then calling you, please be cautious because I'm seeing that some of you in particular are going to be like, hey, what's up, jerk? Oh, you decided to finally call me. You're going to feel not so great about your decision or your comments once they tell you what they've been through. So hold back on the judgments, or do not assume that this is somebody who's lying to you, because I think you're going to have like a insert foot in mouth moment. For those of you who are not American, maybe that statement doesn't make a lot of sense, but if someone says something that is embarrassing, once they have the full context of the situation, we might say that they put their foot in their mouth, right? Doesn't sound very comfortable. Be cautious, because I'm seeing some of you are like a little bit sassy, and you might feel entirely justified because it's like, oh, so you just felt like you could ghost me, huh? Hold back on that sassiness. You're going to get some insight that makes it much clearer what was going on, and you would, I think, feel kind of bad for acting that way. Page of Wands, Nine of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Three of Pentacles. Yeah. Family or very close friend, and I think we have someone who passed away, or we had somebody go through a pretty significant life event or medical event, and your King of Cups, Queen of Swords person here, they really did have a sense of obligation to help out in this situation. Like, I don't want to leave them to deal with that on their own. I've got to help them move, or I've got to help get them into, a hospital or hospice. This is the Gypsy Oracle. I'm trying to see if I can get this stupid thing to go away. Oh, it was stuck. Hello, Mr. F. How are you doing? David, yes, I have been to Europe. I got to meet a bunch of my relatives in Norway, which was pretty epic. So that's probably where I have the most memories. But I also went to Stuttgart and Karlsruhe and Berlin. Lake Constance, and there's this big park with a bunch of flowers. I went to that. Copenhagen, but only for the airport. Amsterdam, just overnight. Yeah. I would like to go back though. Hello, Felix. Hello, Rachel. How we doing? Hello, Stories. Awesome. Yes, I'm super Norwegian. My mom is 100% Norwegian, so if that gives you any idea. I got to go over there with my mom and my aunt, and my mom is like primo research lady. Honestly, so is my dad, so like I got blessed. But she connected with our family and got to meet like 32 of our relatives over there. Most hospitable people I've ever encountered in my entire life. And that's difficult to say because I had a lot of hospitable people in Mexico as well. But Norway, chef's kiss. Would love to go back there someday. So we have this sorrow card coming out. This is what they've been going through. This is why they weren't able to connect with you or communicate. It might have also just been difficult itself to talk about, hey, I lost someone who's important to me. I had to sit in that hospital room and see, my grandpa not looking great. So this constancy is saying this is somebody who is reliable, and they feel like they did not show that side to you because they were dealing with this family issue, but they view you as somebody they want to be with. Now, some of you might be like, I'm not a sweetheart. They think you're a sweetheart, even if you don't feel like that. They want to get to know you better. They feel like you are delightful. So you can see why I'm cautioning you against being like, oh, hey, what's up, loser? Oh, you want to talk to me now? Don't do that. You'll regret it. Hello, what's up, spiritual healer? Oh, that sounds like fun, Rachel. Oh, that's awesome. I appreciate that, Mr. F. Hello, napping. Hello, Tiana. Did I just say that weird? I did. Hello, Tiana. Sorry. What's going on? So we have despair and enemy. I don't really like this card because it has somebody pointing a gun at themselves. So I'm probably not going to show that to you, but we do have the despair and the enemy card where I feel like this is you would feel like a jerk if you tried to call this person out without first understanding their explanation. So please, please save your judgments on this King of Cups until after you hear the story. They're going to reach out, they're going to tell you the truth. And I think it's going to be like, oh, well, I get that now. I would have probably had to take some time as well. So give them the benefit of the doubt because they are coming back around to let you know what they had to do. And it was really just a matter of, I needed to be there for my family. I needed to, help my great aunt or, be there for my brother. Take care of someone perhaps or drive them somewhere. But now that they've dealt with this, they are hoping to reconnect with you and tell you what's going on. They want to do something nice for you. And they really want to make clear that there was no thing that you did that upset them. They just really had to deal with an emergency or a difficult situation with the family. Where are we at? 32. So I can stay on for about another 7 minutes, maybe 6 minutes, and then I gotta sign off. But let's get just a little bit more for you. Yes, a little bit more. We did also cross over into France, sorry, when I was in Europe. And I wish I could remember where we were, but we crossed over into France just to eat some French food. And I still think about that meal. It was so delicious. And the super French, appointments or decor in the restaurant. Oh, it was amazing. But the other thing that was really funny, so I was traveling with students. The only thing that was really funny is when we were in Germany, everyone expected that us Americans wanted to eat French fries at literally every meal. And I was like, no, I want to eat European potatoes. I don't need to have American food here. It was really good baked chicken and potatoes and mushrooms and some pasta. It was heavy on the cream. It was so good. And one of my favorite meals that my mom makes is chicken and rice with a sour cream, paprika, and white wine sauce. So it's very reminiscent of that, but don't tell my mom, it was a little better. Yes, the bread was delicious too. Hello. Oh, let's hold on a second. Hold on. I think trying to be nice. Tiana, if you can undelete that. I think trying to just understand, no. Why would you assume that gems are demonic? That's confusing to me. Um, most of the time people ask if the cards are demonic. But what I would tell you, Capri, is we've got the ability to navigate our life with our intentions and the energy that we bring to those activities as the founding or the important power at the core of that. So Capri, what I would tell you is my intentions, and every time I get a new oracle or tarot deck or, little gem. I bless those, I sage them, and I say a little prayer about the information coming through those cards as being limited from my spirit guides, in the basically best interest of my collective. What is in the highest and best good for my collective for those messages to come through? So if you keep that in mind, hopefully that can help you avoid getting caught up in painting everyone with the same brush, right? It's okay, Tiana. But I would encourage you to look for intention. Yep, napping says cards are tools. Imported says it's how you use them. So my desire, and feel free to judge me, but I am confident in it. My desire is to help people. I want to help people see what they're capable of doing or empower them to leave situations that are not good for them. And the cards helped me leave a situation that I need to, multiple, really. So that's what I hope to bring to the table, right? Since I can't make that epic French meal, I bring cards. Hello, Pedro. How are you doing? Yeah, I ain't mad at anybody. That's why I have a cross right there. I believe my gift is from God. But I also feel like people leverage religion to judge others when the Bible specifically says, judge not, yet you be judged. We have to learn to engage with each other and, leverage boundaries without being quick to say that person's evil, that person's not redeemable. People can change, but we also have the ability to say, it's not going to work right now, right? I find organized religion to be a little bit more dangerous than cards because we don't want to control people. That's my opinion. I might get roasted for that, but we have to be really careful about leveraging scripts or sayings to keep people separate from us. When I think what the goal should be is how can we work together? How can we unify? Right? How can we be there for each other? How can we find common ground? Queen of Wicks, and I have to sign off shortly. So just to let you know, I can't do any personal questions on this reading. We've got Queen of Wicks or Queen of Wands in the reverse, the Seven of Crystals or Seven of Swords in the reverse, and the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. Yeah, so there is this warning that you could jump to a conclusion that this connection wasn't a priority or wasn't worth it to this King of Cups. You might even be a little bit sassy with this person. You don't need to be. You're going to find out that this person went through loss, that this person had to deal with a difficult situation, and I don't want you to look like a big old jerk, okay? So let them say what they need to. Or if you've already decided this isn't your person, that's fine too. But I would not recommend judging them right out the gate. Let them say what's going on if you still have interest in them. Chariot, Eight of Wands, and the King of Crystals. They're going to tell you the God's honest truth. They're not going to hide anything from you. They're going to make it clear, I was dealing with a lot, and that's why I needed to step back. I wish I could have been a little bit more communicative, but my phone didn't work, or I was in a hospital, or I was, overwhelmed with emotion. They have a legitimate reason here, in my opinion. Page of Crystals or Page of Swords, Judgment, and Emperor in the reverse. So do not make a judgment on this person until you understand the facts, until they give you insight into it. And I think you will find that this was somebody who was frustrated by the circumstances just as you were, and that they were very eager to find a way to communicate with you again. I don't think it's disrespect. It's all your decision, right? You have to go with what your discernment and intuition guide you on this. But this warning's coming through because there is a chance someone could miss out on a really great relationship because they assume the worst of this person who had some sort of emergency come up. I hope that happens soon, Rachel. All right, y'all. I gotta leave it there. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribes. Thank you for checking out my candles on Etsy, and I'll see you on the next reading.